Yeah, and Candace, election officials here in Chesterfield say the previous high for voter turnout in a presidential election was either 2008, 2016, and it was around 78% of turnout. But they are expecting that number to be exceeded this time around.
We're expecting maybe about 80% or in the 80s may actually turn out to vote.
The record-breaking prediction on how many registered voters in Chesterfield will have cast a ballot by the end of Tuesday. The county's director of elections says they're already over halfway there, as early voting saw a turnout of nearly 58%, over 100,000 of those doing so in person.
That's a huge deal.
As for mail-in voting, Hargrove says there are still about 7,000 outstanding ballots that can come in by Friday at noon. Hargrove adds the deadline to attempt to correct those mail-in ballots with mistakes passed on Saturday, and that any received from this point on will be rejected.
Anybody who has been contacted in the interim about a ballot that needs to be cured, they can still come in and cure their ballot through Election Day.
In terms of preparing for Election Day, Hargrove says the large turnout in early voting has meant they're well staffed for November 3rd and actually had to turn away volunteers.
We're not going to be using anywhere near the number that we anticipated we needed.
Meanwhile, there will be several COVID-19 precautions in place, including social distancing, PPE, and curbside voting, while officials add they've coordinated with local law enforcement for physical safety at the polls.
We are looking forward to a normal Election Day, as we have multiple times a year here in Chesterfield County.
As for counting all those votes, Hargrove says the Election Day ballots will come in as normal, but because of the high number of early votes cast, those may not be posted until at least 9 or 9:30.
There should be results available no later than midnight on Election night.
Now, of course, after Election Day and night, they will continue to accept those mail-in ballots that are postmarked by Election Day until Friday at noon, and they'll finally certify the results next Tuesday, November 10th. Now, one final piece of advice from the registrar is if you are coming out to vote tomorrow, remember since 2016, there have been some polling places changes, alterations, splits, or additions. So double check what your polling place is before heading out to vote. Working for you in Chesterfield County, Cameron Thompson, CBS 6 News.